I still love a joking conversation we had. This was one of their good days, so I wasn't really that hated, and they were a little bit sociable to me. Where the truth about my former marijuana usage has come out, and someone said, "Johnny, you really need to get high. Like, Johnny, you really need to calm down and get some weed. You need to space out a bit." And I said, "I know. I know I do." Like, that conversation went into, "Johnny, you really need to get high," and I'm like, "I know. You fucking kids make me want to get high." Again, because for those of you who don't know this, I used to I used to smoke marijuana in high school. This was before I moved to my new hometown here, or well, not hometown. This is where I moved. This is 3 years ago. I moved to this city here, and before I moved, I was into marijuana, and I was a bit of a shit, and my grades were failing. But that's a very long story, and it's a very dark story, and it's a very fucked up story. And I don't feel like really getting into it today. But needless to say, I wasn't a heavy marijuana user, but it seemed like almost every day I was going to my friend's house and getting a joint. But that being said, I quit when I moved. I made a vow to quit smoking up. Because still as a newbie to the marijuana thing, I didn't have any dealers. I went to my friend's house to get high. Like, my friend was a good friend, so he would let me get high every time he had weed. So, and he still is a good friend of mine. Even to this day, I still respect him. He's a very religious guy too. Like, I was heavy Christian. I am Christian. I'm just not heavy Christian anymore. Like, I used to be very heavy Christian, but I've sort of swayed away from that. And the reason being is I've come to a greater understanding of uh, of knowledge of God and everything. And I don't mean to sound like a priest or anything, but it really did come to me. I believe by God, and that's why I don't preach anymore. I don't preach to people and say, "You should become a Christian" or something, or you should become, this or that. You should believe in God. And I don't get angry at atheists, because it's not like I had a dream where I was talking to God, but it was something along those lines where an epiphany came in, and I immediately realized God doesn't give a flying fuck. He doesn't. You want to be an atheist, that's your right. You want to be this and that, it's your right. I looked at human history. If God had wanted to end World War II, he would have ended it. Some people say, if God's so real, let him strike me down right now. He won't strike you down. He doesn't care if you don't believe. He cares. Like, he loves us all. But at the same time, he loves us enough to let us choose our life. And that's the epiphany I came. So I stopped praying. I stopped doing all this extra crap because it didn't feel like purposeful. Like, I had grown up in the society in my youth to pray every night, and this and that, and have conversations with God and all this stuff, and I don't do it anymore. And it's because of this epiphany, this mass realization that God doesn't give a flying F what you do. You could kill millions of people. You can be a mass murderer. You can be an arsonist. It doesn't matter. It's not so much what choices you make. It's the choice. It is the choices you're making in life that defines whether you go to heaven or hell. But the thing is, it's our interpretation. This is the big epiphany that I had, and it's the concept of heaven and hell. It's something that I had been thinking about for many years, since I was 8. And the concept of, what does heaven look like? What does hell look like? How do I know if I'm being bad? And I believe it's a moral standing. And many people say, oh, well, Hitler's in hell. Well, if he was really delusional as people say he was, I believe he thinks he's in heaven right now. And my interpretation of heaven is your mind's eye. So, in my mind's eye, when I die, I will be 20 years old, and with my friends playing Xbox and video games, and I have all the money that I want to myself, and I can go out and buy video games more, and and record video and become this huge YouTube star, and everything in my heart's desire, like to become famous and all this stuff and all this other junk and all that. And it's just whatever your heart's desire is what it becomes, and that makes everything worthwhile. But what is hell? How do you define hell? Everyone defines hell as this fiery place of damnation, but what if it's really just the same as life, just with everything bad going your way, where you always make bad decisions, all this horrible stuff would happen to you, like happened to your family and all this stuff, and you had choices to make in life that were hard to make, and that to me sounds like hell. But I think I went into that conversation a bit too much. I gather some of this lovely marble. But, so that's my interpretations of heaven and hell. And, really, I don't know what the hell is with me. I'm like my grandma in that respect, where I'll get on a topic, and then that topic will degenerate into another topic, and then that topic will degenerate into another topic. It can get annoying, but when you have no one to converse with, what can you do?